Hi, this is John Doe, aka Frags with the D&B Academy, and welcome to another sound recreation video. For this one, I brought you some highly requested tune from our user and subscriber Matt, as you can see here. And yeah, we're gonna do the Surface Noise by Optiv and Fierce. Rest in peace, Ed. What a legend. First of all, I want to say this. And obviously we gotta go through this bass, which is like a kind of old school track, which I used to rinse a lot back in the day. If I'm not mistaken, it was out on Quarantine Records. But yeah, let's go guys. Let's take a look at the original first, and then I'll show you what I did. So yeah, this is pretty much how the original bass sounds like. Now let's take a look at what I did here. Let me just turn on this EQ to remove the low end. Let's go. Oh yeah, not bad I guess. So yeah guys, let's dive right into Serum. So alright, let's start off with our patch, alright? So I got the MIDI, obviously it's already laid down, it sounds like this. So yeah, basic stuff, but that's what it needs. Alright, so first things first, let's turn 3 octaves down here. And let's go with the basic shapes, alright? We want a subtle sine wave to do most of the job on this patch, okay? Then we're going to turn the random phase all the way down for consistency on our sound, alright? And then we're going to start to get our oscillator B in the mix, but we gonna turn the level off, okay? And for this one, you're going to go into the digitals, alright? And there's the harmonic morph, harmonic subtle. Any of these could work for this sort of sound, okay? Then we got to go back to our oscillator A and turn on the FM from B on our warping section here, okay, because this is going to do most of the job. It's this sine wave with all the frequency modulation picked up from oscillator B that's going to make the bass work, alright? So let's hear how it sounds with this one and 2 octaves lower as well. Just turn the gain a bit. Alright, still not much because we need to apply the FM now. Now we're starting to get this really cool harmonic content coming up. You can start to see in the spectrum everything happening. So now let's start wetting it up this a bit. So let's go with 2 voices and crank down the detune just a tiny bit. Alright, and now let's also use the band plus and negative on this one. Or actually, I might go just with a negative, to be honest. Because I'm looking for these like really cool harmonics, you see? Somewhere around here. But we need to get the wavetable position closer to like 150, 160. You see? Now we're getting those rich harmonics in the mix. Okay, let's turn on our filter and assign both oscillators to it. We're starting to get something interesting going on here. Now we need movement. We need an envelope slash LFO to sort of start giving this a bit of movement as we can hear on the original, all right? So let's assign this to the most important element at this point, okay? Which will be the FM, because we're gonna get this like going all the way from 0 up to 50. It needs to be 50 precisely in this case. And let's kind of shape this up like this. Let's put this on trigger mode. 8 notes dotted, just like the original. Give this a bit of portamento. So turn on legato and mono here. And we're gonna assign this one to the filter as well. But we're gonna crank down the filter all the way down. Make this like somewhere around the middle. We don't want to take away all the harmonics, but also we want to kind of contain them, you know. So it needs to be like up to you as well. Okay, it feels good to me, you know, for now. Let's also kind of, because you see, like, if you automate this as well, the level of the oscillator A, things get interesting too. So we're just adding a bit more movement to the overall sound, okay? We could do some fine tuning, you know, just like trying to look for a sweeter spot on the wavetable here, you know, because it changes quite a bit, you see. Especially with the random phase turned on, but in this case we want it. That brings like cool different nuances of the sound. So alright, I feel like within the patch we're pretty much there. So let's flip the screen, go into the effects tab of Serum and do some work, alright? So we also gonna keep this simple here, you know, it's all about that. So we're gonna assign this to the drive just a little bit. We don't want the drive to be too much. We're gonna apply the tube distortion. Something like this, it's enough, alright? Let's go to the chorus, give this a little bit here, make the low pass filter and the rate all the way down here. Something like this. Now we also gonna turn on our EQ so we can start taking care of our mid frequencies here. You see, just becomes way brighter. And we can make this move also a little bit, the frequency. I can already tell you that we're going to be filtering most of these things out in a bit, so that's why we're kind of bringing them up, you know? So, alright, I feel like we're pretty much there on the patch. We're going to come back to it after some processing, but first, let's dive into the processing itself, alright? Okay, so first thing, EQing, right? We're just gonna pretty much see if we got any issues going around here. Kind of cool, because we have all the harmonics we need, especially this one, but we can tame these a bit. Just to make this more interesting, I'm gonna make this dynamic. Alright, like so. Then we're gonna apply a little bit of distortion with Isotope's Trash too. Just a bit of wave shaping here. You know, just to kind of glue those harmonics together, alright? Then we're gonna apply an auto filter, or a filter of your choice, of course. And with the auto filter, we're gonna kind of hide those extra harmonics that the distortion and all the processing we did kind of brought up. Because we don't want them all. We can set around here, you know, like 700 Hertz, 730, something like this should be enough, alright? And now, let's wrap up the processing itself with some OTT, right? Because that is the part where we kind of gonna mesh these frequency bands together and like just bring up whatever we feel like we need. So let's start with the sub. Too much, should be good. Now the mids. Can try to bring some of that brattle. Right, and now at the end, I'm gonna just apply Pro Q to do a final EQ. Alright, we're gonna also do like a low cut, just to do the final touches on the proper filtering for this one. And to wrap it up, I'm gonna go back to the patch and do some work within, especially on the oscillator B, because that's where we're picking up all the harmonics. Alright, so we can try to just, as I said, just by changing this, we can achieve almost the same exact sound that Optiv and Fierce used on that one, which I feel like should be closer to this. And yeah, to kind of take advantage of that, we're also gonna apply the shape here. Really subtle, like this. So yeah, I think we're there, guys. Let's just do a small test and play this on top of the original, alright? So this is the bass line for Fierce and Optiv's Surface Noise. So yeah, I think it's pretty decent, alright? Make sure you take advantage of this cool and interesting sound design technique for your basses, and just do way more with different nuances, with different filters, different wavetables, but it's definitely a really cool way to achieve these mid-rangey and deep bass lines, alright? I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace!